Hey guys, Max here. Before this video starts, I want to talk about a few things. First of all, thank you for all the support I've received on this podcast before the first episode has even released. I mean, I really appreciate all the support, and I'm excited to see where the podcast goes. I do want to let you guys know that this first episode is a little bit scuffed. I was getting off sickness. The audio quality kind of messes up at certain points. It's very scuffed because it's the first one, but we tried our best, we had fun, and that's what matters. Yeah, subscribe so you don't miss another episode of this podcast, and let's get going.
I don't have to get back to coding. Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
You touched on it a little bit, and this was gonna be my next topic of conversation. Oh my god, that was not words. Or like
not to interrupt you, but hold on, I need to change the battery in my headphone. Oh my god, my headphone's gonna die.
No, Shalom's headphones.
Whatever you're saying right now, I know it's very good. Totally. Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Yeah, beta.
Oh no!
I'm
It was
dead.
very quiet, but something was happening. Yeah.
You need to use your brain.
Mm.
Which, I mean, is hard enough to say about, it's a hard thing to ask for Minecraft players, but, you know, still.
Subtle roasting the whole community, let's freaking go.
Nah, bro, I love the community,
Yeah.
but some of us are real stupid. I'll figure it out. Oh, my pickaxe just broke. I'm gonna cry. Hold on. I have to break stone with my fist.
Oh no. Mine's actually quite close to breaking as well. Oh no.
You're welcome. We can go ahead and start, and I'll just ask you some questions. Cool?
Bet. Awesome.
Bet.
Ah.
This is lovely little experience, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
how's your day? I know this is good for you.
yeah.
How you doing?
It's good. I mean, my day did just start. We are in very different time zones, but you know,
Yeah.
It's good. I'm feeling a lot better. I was sick the past couple of days, so I'm chilling now.
Are you? I mean, I was kind of scared that I would oversleep.
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Yeah. Okay. So my first little thing. I mean, this is kind of basic. Just tell the audience a little bit about yourself, like who you are, what you do. I mean, obviously you're known for Mayhem, but anything else you want them to know?
Yeah, sure. Well, hey, I'm Shaloms, okay? I'm a Minecraft YouTuber and Twitch streamer. I own a Minecraft event called Minecraft Mayhem, and that's where I really stand in the event scene, or Minecraft scene, I guess, especially. And it's where I feel very, very welcome. It's been going for like 3 years, and I've been doing content for like 6 years. So I'm very into Minecraft. I'm 16. I'm in school. I'm British, so I'm doing my A levels, which is basically college. And yeah.
Fair enough. I mean,
Pretty cool.
I'm
I'm also much of a music man, aren't I?
Oh yeah, you do music. I saw that Twitter post the other day, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, me singing on top of Nutcracker.
Yeah,
Nutcracker. Yeah.
First question. You touched on this a little bit. What is it like running a Minecraft event at 16? I mean, I'm 17, and I couldn't imagine doing what you do.
Well, it's very much of a yes. It is quite daunting because it's a lot of work, and especially as it grows, it can be a lot more demanding on what I might feel like I need to do. But it is, to be fair, Mayhem is something I'm quite passionate about. So it's something that I very much I have never felt burnout with Mayhem yet.
Oh, really?
Even though it's been in the 3 years that it's gone on for, I haven't felt a single touch of burnout. I will go on for hours on end working on it. I just love the event scene a lot. I remember back in time when, for example, Preston Plays would host like miniature Bed Wars tournaments, and then like Minecraft Monday became a thing, and then it grew off, and then Minecraft Saturdays, and it went into MCC, and then it all just flowed from there. And I feel like it's all coming full circle because this is what I really enjoy when it comes to Minecraft.
So you want to touch on why you started Mayhem? Like, I wasn't around for these days. It's been 3 years. I think I came in around it like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But can you tell us a little bit about like how Mayhem got started and
Yeah.
what's the deal with that?
Well, Mayhem starting is actually a matter of me. As I've said, I am very into the event scene, and I was a very big Minecraft Monday watcher. I always watched Technoblade. It was the thing I'd always look forward to, and I thought, although Minecraft Monday, I guess at the time, the standards were somewhat alright, even though, but I kind of set myself with the whole, I want an event that is better than Minecraft Monday. So I got a
Doesn't everyone?
I got a server up. Yeah, exactly. I got a server up on 1.8. I made Hunger Games. I made, I think, TNT Run and Spleef, and I just hosted an event with that. It was actually quite scuffed, which is quite funny. But it felt very good having a Minecraft event.
I mean, it's clearly progressed so much. I remember when I first joined, I saw like an old clip of like, or what's it recent? I don't remember. I saw an old clip of you running and screaming with like 0 quality graphics.
I know exactly what clip you're on about as well.
Oh, I'm getting his friend.
Alright. Alright, he's running,
Wait, turn.
Yeah, I remember that. It clearly has progressed so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
as someone who ends up usually watching more than playing, it is such a visual just improvement from the last time I played that it's like,
Yeah. And I, to be fair, I know that, like, especially with the pace that Mayhem's at right now, the quality is, like, the jump up is quite drastic at once.
It is a very
but,
massive
to be
jump.
fair, whatever happens, I really never will let go of, like, those really old memories of like jumping in random people's VCs, or if people crash, I'd just like sit around with people and we'd goof about. Although they were like scuffed times, there's something I'm very much gonna keep with me, and actually it's why I like to cherish those kind of times. It's even why, for example, now there are still like very OG players that play in Mayhem today.
Yeah,
and
I was
so
about to bring
it's
that
very
up,
fulfilling.
right? It's like it used to be a public event, and now it's shifted
yeah.
very more private. With the matchless server and all that. But I find it really interesting that you guys still keep a lot of the OGs around in that private server and still open the non-canons up to the public. That's something that most events don't do.
Well, unironically, the reason why Mayhem used to be public is because I wanted Mayhem to be a thing that, like, so if I had always thought that if I was an average event viewer and I saw Mayhem and I'd be like, I have the opportunity to play in this, I would be so pumped about it, and I wanted to give that feeling to a lot of other people, which, of course, with how it grew, it did, and I'm very glad it did. It being private now is, to be fair, not a matter of that I don't want to do it anymore. It's just a matter of it's inevitable
Event
because
growth,
the event's growing so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have quite the large creators now. I mean,
like the people that are playing in that are gonna play in the Mayhem that's very soon.
yeah.
They're people that I've been watching for ages. I can't believe this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it either, and I'm like sitting in that server with them. It's like, oh,
you'll be amongst them as well. Yeah,
I'll get there one day.
11 months sitting, I think.
It's 10 months ish now. I
10
think.
months and counting.
I believe I've been told that I gotta wait a year. It's got 2 more months. I'll get there. November.
That means you can get there by Christmas though. So
I
that's pretty
can.
cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's my Christmas
Yeah,
gift.
yeah.
Real. Yeah. I mean, we've touched quite a bit about Mayhem. And obviously we'll warp back into it. But
Yeah.
do you want to talk a little bit about like the other events you played? I know you played PBU with me.
Yes.
You played
Yes.
Crown Quest, I believe, as well.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to touch a little bit about what those were like for you?
So with me playing events, I am most active within a community that are very driven towards MCC. I guess I could say.
I mean, we're gonna touch on this later, but yeah.
Yeah.
We can touch on this now.
I stand
That's fine.
mostly there. And I've played obviously a lot of events within that community. But when it comes to like branching out, I've played in Pandora's Box Unsealed. It was a great experience.
It was really fun, yeah.
Yeah. What a way to start off the summer. I hope to play more events like it. Honestly, I love the way that like, although like there are these very different communities, one way or another they do connect. They do connect.
They do
really.
absolutely connect. Yeah.
Yeah. I've also played in Crown Quest. That was very cool.
Ooh.
I hope to play another one soon. I was gonna play the one that just happened,
Charity?
but I think it was a charity event. Yeah. I've also played. I've not played a Minecraft Mania yet, but I've played in 2 Jackcast game nights.
Yeah, you've played in. Were you in the Mania Jackcast game night class?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
so
were.
I guess that counts. So I guess that counts.
You
as
have
me
played
playing
in
a
Mania then, I guess, technically.
Yeah, 7th
Yeah.
place average. Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played Mania or Crown Quest, so I don't know a whole lot about like what that experience like as a player. So
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to go a little bit more in depth for people who are maybe just watchers of those events?
Okay. So what I'll actually say is that I am someone that really doesn't mind who I team with. And so it's very nice just meeting new people, making friends off of events like this. And obviously I can do things like invite them to my event and play with them more, like maybe outside of an event. Like for example, people I'm friends with are Whalable and Athema, who I've played with outside of Nova Games, even though I met them through playing in Nova Games with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Events is very much a really great way of meeting new people, I feel. It's also a way for me to just show my love for competitive Minecraft. Really, I'd call myself quite competitive. Like I'm not the best, but I'm competitive.
So you would say you play more to win than to play for fun. I know some people play like entirely for fun. Would you say you lean somewhere in the middle? Would you say you're entirely competitive? Like...
I very much value both, but to be fair, I find my experience so much greater when winning is the outcome, to be fair.
I mean, everyone does, right? If you win, it's like
it's a great feeling.
It's a good feeling, yeah. You touched on it a little bit, and this was gonna be my next topic of conversation. Oh my god, that was not words. But yeah, you touched upon this a little bit. But you play in a community that is not the most regarded in high standards, as I'm sure you're well aware. I mean, owning a Minecraft event that's as large as Mayhem, I'm sure you've heard about the stigma. But and I used to play in this community too. I don't as much anymore, and you know that.
Yeah.
But can you give us a little bit of perspective on that? Because I know I've heard a lot of different opinions from people who play these events versus people who just have heard of them. So can you give us a little bit of like why you still play them? Like what's your view on it that a lot of people aren't seeing?
I play in them more for the fact that I have people, for example, in those communities where I have been friends with them for give or take 2 years really, and I have very good connections with a lot of the people. Something else that I also value is that, to be honest, they are the people that, and I guess would say kickstart Mayhem, or were Mayhem's like begin stunt in like in growth or seeing actual support. And they're very supportive of me. There are obviously some communities that I try not to associate myself with, but I pick and choose who I associate myself with. I I think because of that fact that I don't free willy nilly play every recreation that exists is a good thing. Is a good thing.
Yeah. I know
yeah.
people who play every single one, and I'm like,
And
man, how do you do that?
There are some icky ones out there.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the experience I had, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about this. But like I definitely found that there are better recreations than others in terms of both actual build quality and actual like recreationness, and but of course also community. I think there's multiple different sides of the community that I think really one, like there's some that give it a really bad name, but there are other that just people that are just like actual event players, like you, me for a while. I mean, who else? Case, Finman. They all play a little bit of recreations. They dabble, but they're all also event players, and they're chill. And I think it just depends on the community you come through.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to think about is that yes, it's very exciting being able to play Meltdown or being able to play Hole in the Wall, but it is more of a fact that there are people that I care about there, and I do that community, of course, has a very special place in my heart. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who I've spoken to about like the recreations community, who is in the recreations community, has a similar sentiment, that they're well aware that there are like bad people in the community, and that there are communities that you should avoid still. But I think they've all come away with the sentiment that like it is really a community at that. Like there are people you know, and there's people that you are good friends with that you just can hang out with and chill, and it be what it be, and you just ignore the haters almost.
Yeah, because honestly, respectfully, if it was just a matter of, I want to play to get to the other side or something like that, I would be long gone already.
So I'm gonna bring back over to Mayhem, because I mean, this is your big thing, right? Obviously, like I hate to branch you into one spot, but I guarantee that's why a lot of people are watching this podcast right now.
Yeah. Honestly, that's great. That's great.
Is there anything you can say about like the future of Mayhem? Because we've talked a little bit about how it started. Is there anything you can talk about in terms of like future concepts, future ideas, future hopes for Mayhem?
Something I'll also mention is that something that you can expect with the future of Mayhem is that I want it to be an event that has quite a unique feel, not only in terms of event, but the people that play it as well.
Really?
This is actually going to sound like I'm quite against like the people who are, I guess, known for like being event players, like for example the PB community, but I would love to introduce people that, for example, might not have touched events or might not have played many events before. I would love to introduce them to the event community through Mayhem, because I think that would be a good starting point for them, and I think they'd really stay engaged with it. There are some people that you can look at and go, how come this person hasn't played in Block Wars yet? Or how come this person hasn't
MCC.
played in MCC yet? Or something
Yeah.
like that. And I'd love for people to be able to say, oh, well, they've played in Mayhem. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, so we know they're interested in Minecraft events. Right?
Yes.
That sounds really intriguing.
Yeah.
And I was talking a little bit in the Mayhem like private Discord, the Matchless Discord, about competitive, like, I don't know the word, the competitiveness of Mayhem nowadays.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
we were talking about how the old, like, really old roster was filled with like a lot of like top tier players, and then like you kind of had the mid span where it was kind of like there were half and half teams, or like
not to interrupt you, but hold on, I need to change the battery in my headphone. Oh my god, my headphone just told me it's gonna die.
No, Shalom's headphones.
Whatever you're saying right now, I know it's very good. Totally. Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Yeah, let's go. Where did I leave off?
Oh, I cannot remember. You're talking about the competitiveness.
Yeah. So we were talking about how at the beginning it was very, very competitive with like top tier players, and then there's sometime around like the middle recent, right before I think it was like the first break, like the Mayhem, was it the Mayhem 20 break?
Yeah.
It kind of was like not too competitive. There was some teams that were clearly competitive, but also like there were also some teams that were clearly in there for the chemistry and the balancing.
Yeah, that's great.
There's also like, and then we were talking about these most recent teams, and it feels like the roster has been very almost upped in skill. So we were talking about how, like, where you want to see that go. Do you want to see Mayhem become something? Because you talked about before that you are a competitive like player. Do you want to see Mayhem become that regard where people do actually like actively try to play this and win this, or do you want to see people come in for the content, for the fun of it, and because the skill roster has come up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like the competitiveness has gone up.
To be fair, I myself am quite split in terms of that, because for example, I want people to be able to have the opportunities to play for fun. For example, do you remember Lime from MCC Rising? They're very obviously not very much of a competitive team, but they are playing in this Mayhem.
They
which I find very exciting.
I got to
and
speak
they
to a
are
couple
going in it with the mindset of playing for fun rather than being like, oh, this is really competitive, I should probably put so many hours into practicing and whatnot.
I mean,
but it being competitive does leave room for things that you might not be able to see in other events. Like, for example, a bit like your Cyan team, this event has the duo team of Landon Legends and
Kel.
and Kel Awesome, which,
that is terrifying.
To be fair,
that is absolutely terrifying.
But honestly, with Mayhem, I feel like it's not as absurd as it looks, and I feel like you wouldn't really get away with that in other events, for example.
I mean,
so it being competitive allows for things like that, and that's quite exciting.
I'm just gonna clarify something real quickly about what Shalom's talking about. So, because a lot of people probably don't know Landon like we know Landon. Realizing that now, that like Landon doesn't play in too many Minecraft events. At least like the ones you've heard of, like PB and Block Wars. He doesn't. But Landon is just like a top skilled player. For those who aren't aware, Landon is very good at Minecraft.
Landon is Kel Awesome 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, almost. Landon was the Kel Awesome of Mayhem before Mayhem was really like a really big deal. And I mean, also, this is a joke going around, but he is a team maker, so he did. People think he put himself with Kel Awesome to win.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you'll have to see until this event. Maybe he will stay that kind of top tier player in Mayhem still.
Yeah, I mean,
Good,
I
good.
think that's an interesting thing to talk about is will the OGs like really because they
Will
obviously
they
have a
stay
lot of
dominant?
experience, right? They
Mhm.
a lot of event experience is good. We've seen it in other events happen. But also like you have these new players that are coming in that are also like really skilled players in like
Mm,
Misty and Kellawesome, right? And
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
who will be the Mayhem almost? Who will be the Mayhem?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very excited to watch personally. I've set up a little group. I think I told you about this.
Ooh,
Oh no,
really?
I told Kenzie's about this. Um,
Oh.
it's me, Ben Miscommunication, and Jermina,
Oh,
and I
wow.
because they are intrigued to see how because they obviously are testers, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're very intrigued to see like how it looks from like a player perspective because
From
they
the event
don't
plan. Yeah.
yeah because they don't really
Mm.
know how it's gonna go and obviously also I'm like well known for being somewhat of like a nerd in that regard.
Yeah.
I mean, I posted on the podcast Twitter yesterday that I was getting the scoop for MCC 34, and it had like 3 POVs up. I watched 3 POVs yesterday. So I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
I'm a very interesting person to
Mm.
sit and like almost VOD review with or watch an event with. So they are very intrigued. But I'm very excited to watch this next Mayhem.
Yeah, that's great.
And see how it goes, right?
Yeah, 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 of
Are you
course.
gonna be doing the admin stream again? Is that continuing?
Oh yes, yes, and definitely after the event, I might actually record a watch party. That's quite a good idea, to be
That is that sounds.
fair.
Are you gonna become?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
gonna do a little Wolfie Mogul mail?
Oh, can I be
Yeah.
Wolfie Vocal Mail? Exactly.
Actually, I think the real question on everyone's mind: when is a Wolfie returning to Minecraft Mayhem? That's
Oh, you never know.
do we have any information on that?
Um, I will say that from the time that Wolfie did play, he did say that he enjoyed it. So
I
hopefully he will come back. Hopefully he will come back. You never know, though.
I have been told
Mm,
from in-person sources, meaning I have spoken to Wolfie in person,
yeah.
that he did very much enjoy it.
Oh, that's
the
great.
I was talking to I think it was Sam Dong Fortnite.
Yeah.
It was Kirby character Sam Dong Fortnite. I think it was Kaizo. You heard of
Oh,
Kaizo?
really?
Yeah, Kaizo
yeah,
was
Kaizo,
there.
dude. Oh my
Um,
god.
Piggles, Wolfie. There were some other people there that I didn't recognize. Oh, Space was there. Space Bunnies.
Okay.
This was before Space was invited to Mayhem, by the way.
Okay.
And then me, Ben, and Jem. And we were talking about Mayhem. We had a conversation about multi-spleef, in fact.
Oh wow.
I mean, I just want to bring this up real quickly. Multi-spleef as a viewer, and I've been told as a player as well, is the Mayhem game. Would you agree with
yes.
that?
I would very much agree. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It is very much the game that people applaud us for. So.
I mean, yeah, I believe the OG Spleef was just out of my time. Was it?
I think so. I think so.
I think there was
Yeah,
an
it
OG
was around,
Spleef,
like,
and then
Mayhem
there was a different Spleef that was a little bit similar to. Oh, this brings up a good memory that I'm gonna remind you of. The OG, the other Spleef, the bolt Spleef. Remember
Oh
Bolt Spleef?
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
First time I ever played it. Do you remember
Okay.
what happened?
This
was in
yeah,
Pride.
when you're rocking.
I broke the Mayhem Bolt Spleef rockets. I broke it.
Which was made by Neon as well, which is a very.
I
was a
remember
very
you
good
guys like
coder.
scrambling before the event to like fix
Yeah,
it, right?
to find out what's going on.
And you
yeah.
fixed it, and then I somehow broke it again.
Oh, Max, what are you doing to us?
I've been told this a billion times. I should become a tester, but like,
Gosh.
Nah, not now. Give me at least one more Mayhem, and then maybe we'll consider it. You know, you get a little leak there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I think that's another good thing about Mayhem is like you can joke about. I know a lot of like big events. There's a lot of drama that comes with the I don't know the situations that happen. I know yesterday's MCC was quite the controversial one in multiple regards.
Yeah.
And we're not going to touch too much on that because, you know, obviously we want to stay around the drama and not really go into it. But I think that's a good thing about Mayhem is that, like, I've always been able to joke about the issues with Mayhem. Like, whenever something goes wrong, we're able to joke about it, but it's also, like, we're able to put in feedback, and it actually sometimes happens. I've said this and I'll say this again. Mayhem is a great space. It is a community. It is a place to, you know, hang out with your friends and play a Minecraft event, you know? And I think that's really something that you've done really well that I feel like I don't want to say this because I am going to have other people from other Minecraft events on here. That is something that you have done very well that I don't know if all the other Minecraft events have done. Like, you've made it very personal, almost.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Anything you want to bring up? Because, you know, so I am going into my senior year of high school, and they talk about, you know, college interviews, right? You have to interview to get into schools and stuff. And we talk a lot about, like, the end question. And this is obviously not the end of the podcast. I've got quite a bit more, but I wanna stop. This is kind of like the midway of the podcast where I want to stop and ask you, almost like, is there anything you feel should be brought up that I haven't mentioned yet? Like anything almost blaring, because I feel like there might be some blaring things that I'm obviously missing about you, about Minecraft events that you want to bring up. I don't know.
I'll say that although I'd say I'm very much already quite active in the event community, I hope that goes further. Like, I want to find more events, and I want to experience more events, or I want more people to experience more events. So I don't, I don't think that feeling will leave me, because I'm always hoping to discover about this community.
So what I'm hearing is become the next It's Eagles Piggles and play every Minecraft event.
Yes, that's that actually. Yes.
I mean, he had a good strategy. He posted on Twitter he wanted to find more Minecraft events, and he went for it. And I mean, people invited him to their event, and he had that month span, right, where he played. Isn't that how he got into Mayhem? Or wait, no, that was before.
Mayhem. I think Mayhem was the start of him.
That was the start, right? Because he played under the aliases.
Yeah. I remember him saying that he wanted to play more Minecraft events, and then we started DMing each other. He was like, "What if I went into your event but undercover? It would be a really good video." And so
very good video.
Yeah.
For the content.
He played it. People loved it, and he enjoyed it. And
Jeffy
he started playing more.
My best friend Jeffy Boo.
Yeah. And after he played in like 2 Mayhems, I saw that he started playing in more events like PET, which isn't around anymore. And then he joined Mania, and then he joined like Crown Quest, and yeah. It's quite cool though. It's just like I'm like a trendsetter.
Shalom is the trendsetter, guys.
I'm the trendsetter.
I mean, absolutely. If there's one event that you haven't played in yet, and I mean, you can group PB into this group too, because I mean, PBU wasn't the real event, no matter how much we wish it was. It's not the real event. If there's one event that you say you haven't played in yet that you would like die to play in, what would it be?
It's a bit of a cliche answer, but honestly, I'd love to experience Block Wars.
Ooh.
That
That is not the cliche answer I was thinking of.
Really? I feel like it might be a bit of a cliche answer.
No,
I know.
well,
that
I
they
think it
ha-
might be becoming the cliche answer because everyone doesn't want to say the actual cliche answer.
Oh yeah, I guess which is MCC, right?
Right, yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone wants to say MCC anymore because
Yeah.
I mean, MCC is great, but everyone says they want to be an MCC. And how much of us are really gonna ever actually get to play an MCC? I mean, the Rising people did, and it's great for them, but
Yeah. I mean, like,
Hey.
experiencing MCC would be very cool. I just think that, like, the very quick production value increase in Block Wars is genuinely really impressive, and I, like, appreciate all the staff there, and I'm quite good, I'm good friends with some of the people that are quite affiliated with Block Wars. It looks like a great space and community to be amongst, and I'd find experiencing it quite cool, to be fair.
I want to bring back to PBU because we talked a little bit about Mayhem again, and I mean we discussed your other events, but we didn't go in detail like specifics. So PBU
Yeah.
first, because I played in it, and I'll probably know a little bit more about like what your experience was like. But really, go up first. Like, how was that? Because I mean, you were teamed with what? Matt Awesome, MX Arrow, and Blazy, right?
And Blazercat, yes.
Yeah. How was that team? Did you find that enjoyable? Like, what was the deal there?
Honestly, I think that is probably the most fun I've had in an event. Just full stop. It was so amazing. I was so proud of how we performed, how our energy was throughout the event. It was great. It was a good new change of pace because I don't think I hadn't really experienced anything like it before or anywhere near. The closest I had, or probably the closest I'd had having most fun in an event like that is probably Nova Games, and still that was a while ago. It wasn't to the standard of Pandora's Box, which obviously, honestly, applaud to the guys over there. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
I found it
God.
like really almost.
I loved it.
It was a different experience.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, so first of all, we gotta bring up the obvious. Do you really think you were ping diffed?
I do. Okay.
You do?
Listen, let me have my copium because I got my particles. I feel incredibly robbed and
Guys, cut to the clips where
No.
cut to the clips where it's definitely not ping diffed.
Oh, I got 12th overall, right?
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, for me, is I'd say an underperformance for from what I normally do in a
Yeah, I mean
but
usually you get like
I got 31st in SG, so I feel
God.
I feel like with a slightly better SG, it would have been such a different story.
I mean, to be fair,
I'm
we could
very
all
passionate
say
with the
something
copium.
like that. I'm sure we all have a game or two that if it went
Yep.
slightly better for us, things would have gone
Mhm.
out different. I mean, my team, I mean, we were last pretty much the whole event. We weren't even last in the
No.
last game, but
Yeah.
I think our real like buzzkill game was what was it called? Frick. My brain is failing me. It was Chalice.
Yeah, I was thinking, are you gonna say Chalice?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Chalice was interesting. How did you guys experience Chalice? Because I know I've talked
I
to
loved
Ben
it.
and Jem and Kirby a lot, and we did not love Chalice. But obviously
Really?
we were also the bottom two teams.
Oh goodness me.
So you
I
have
think
to,
it's like
that's
I
something
think
you
it's
have to-
actually quite the thing with PB to dislike Chalice. I love Chalice so much.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
I've heard a lot of people.
if I were to call like any game in PB, at least game concept wise, up to MCC standard, I would genuinely think that Chalice is there.
You would say Chalice.
Chalice is the game that is like or like the game concept that is too MCC standard. I think.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I would say that.
I remember hearing that a while ago in a Piggles video, and I'm like, oh, I agree with that so much. I'm gonna keep repeating it.
I think that was also though.
Oh.
I beat you to the nether.
Oh, I've just been building a house over here. I
Bro,
got diamond
bro,
armor.
what happened to beating the game, Mr. Speedrunner?
Oh, I have like diamond gear and like.
I have a diamond axe and a diamond pickaxe, but I'm not.
Dang, okay.
I mean, yeah. But anyways, like I remember, I think I watched the same Pickles video. I think that was a little while ago though, wasn't it? Like pre-chalice changes.
I don't remember. I think it might have been the
old chalice.
Team Blast team or something like that. It might have been
Yeah,
that
so
one.
that would have been old chalice, I think.
Ah. What had changed with Chalice since then?
Two chalices, like punch off the start. There wasn't two chalices. It was always one chalice.
Oh yeah, there was one.
Which
yeah, true.
I personally didn't love.
Mm.
And I know it's a change for the better, but it makes it really hard for, like, I don't know, team coordination.
Yeah, I guess there's just a lot going on to have to keep track of if there's two.
I know my teammates, Eman and Sophie, got, like, very lost. Like, they were running across the map, and they just got very confused about where they were supposed to be at what time.
Oh, really?
And it became... We only won 2 rounds, and it was the last 2 rounds because me and Kirby decided, frick it, we're gonna go together. Like, normally you don't put your top 2 players together in Chalice, but we decided, frick it, we're gonna put our top 2 players together, so we guaranteed at least get always 1 Chalice.
Yeah.
Which I think is an interesting meta strategy, right? If you think about it.
It's an interesting way to go.
If you put your best 2 players together, and then you have, like, one person who's really good at running and one person who's really good at, like, beating people up, which what Kirby was good at. We kind of just we couldn't lose that challenge. Which is a really meta strategy.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about, like, how the other games went for you? Because, I mean, we talked about Chalice, we talked about SG, obviously. But what did you think of, like, the movement game, like, massive movement game start that happened? Like, we started with, like, 3 movements. Yeah.
I loved it. As a movement Andy myself,
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed that. I'd say so I got I think 7th, 7th, and 8th in, like, the 3 movement games or something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you were good at Disco.
Oh yeah, Disco was very cool. I enjoyed that a lot.
I as someone who can't see colors very well, I also enjoyed Disco, which may be a hot take because I know people like Chaos and Locky have had major issues with Disco in that regard. But
crazy timing because the event after they made it like a lot less colors, right?
The event after us, the Disco got mega nerfed.
Oh
in terms of
gosh!
colors. And I had to use a color pack during the event.
Oh really? Okay.
Which I found a Bastion.
Oh nice! What the hell?
But yeah, I don't know.
Can't find no lava.
Pig. Yeah, so, I mean, that is really unfortunate for someone like me, who, I mean, I'd love to play in PB, but I think it's highly unlikely that I play a full PB anytime soon. I think there's definitely a possibility in the future, but I think it is really unfortunate that we didn't get any new changes for our event.
Yeah. I mean, we got a new obstacles map, so...
which really fucked over your team last time I checked, right?
I got second.
But it fucked over Blazy, didn't it?
Blazicat, oh my goodness.
Blazy was interesting, and we can talk about this during...
He
Didn't he, like, neek out everything?
I think so. Yeah, I think he completely remade the obstacles thing, which is why I think they changed it for the event.
Yeah, I believe I was told that they specifically changed it because Blazy didn't like.
Is that specifically why?
So, but I was told that they changed it because there was a practice server. There were 2 practice servers, I believe.
Oh yeah, okay. So one of my Mayhem admins actually made a
Johnny,
practice
yeah,
server.
I know because we got the practice server too.
I guess we technically still have that. We don't use it, but we still have that, I guess, which is funny.
I mean,
to think about.
Johnny had to shut it down because there was some miscommunication. No pun intended.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
God.
say miscommunication a lot, and then I'm like, oh, let me make sure Ben's not around. Whoopsie.
Not the person.
Not the
Yeah.
person, the term. But yeah, I think it's very interesting that we ended up with two almost, because it wasn't there also like a server as well, like not a practice server, but just a regular server that you could do, like it was the they're like the event. Oh my god, words. You know how like I believe you talked about it in your video. There was like practice with. Oh god, I'll come. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But like
The thing I remember playing the most was Disco Fever on it. So
yeah, we had like multiple practice servers. I was
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
really unfortunate position of not being able to really utilize either of those.
Oh wow. Did you
I
not?
so I got to play the very beta.
Of like, oh no!
I'm
You
dead.
went quiet, but something was happening. Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Oh.
Yeah, but I got to play the very beta version of the Disco Fever on the practice server. That's all I got to play, and it was really ridiculously hard because Johnny didn't know anything about Disco Fever. So it was really, really hard, and it was going at like 0.2 second speed. Like it started out at the pace that it goes during the like end of the normal event.
What's this called? I think the fact that I got used to that was the reason why I did like well at Disco.
And then I had school for like a week, so I couldn't hop on the practice server. Wait, no, I didn't have school. Wait,
see, it was during my summer holidays.
Wait, no, I don't think what did I have? I was out for a week for something.
Oh.
I don't know why, but throughout the whole week I couldn't get on my computer. I don't remember why, but I remember I couldn't do that. So that was really weird. Wow. But it was really like I remember also there was the Elytra server that everyone started using like the last day or two of the event. Before the event, where everyone I think that I've been told really helped a lot of people in Hyperdrive. It helped me certainly. I mean,
I don't think I ever used it. I don't know what this server is that you're talking about, actually.
It's called like Elytra Games or something.
Is it like an Elytra server?
Mayhem
Elytra.
No, it's a bunch of different almost mini games, and one of them was Elytra, and it was kind of similar to Elytra Race in the fact that like you go down. And it's a constant swoop down and you go to the finish. Except, if you died, you died. Almost like a Terra Swoop Force Elytra Race mix. But I was told that it was very helpful for Hyperdrive. And I can vouch, because I did well in Hyperdrive. And it was weird almost to like, because it didn't help with like navigation. What it helped with, and this is what I've heard from other people too, is it helped with almost like learning Elytra mechanics. Yeah,
more than like
obviously all of us knew how to use an Elytra. We play Minecraft. Like none of us were non-Minecraft players.
Yeah.
But it was almost like the mechanics of like how to keep your Elytra. Like loaded, which was really weird. Because it was like, I thought I knew how to do it, and then I got on the server, and I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm not doing this very well. I'm not keeping my momentum at all. So I just spent hours on that server. And, I mean, it worked, because I died quite a few times during...
Yeah.
If you watch... I don't know if you watched my video, and I don't expect you to. But, if any of the viewers watch my Hyperdrive section of my video... You'll see that I die quite a few times. Like, I don't die once. I die, like, on one of the maps, like, 3 or 4 solid times.
Oh wow.
And I think the lowest place I got was in like the teens.
Really? Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
mean-
that's actually wild to hear.
Yeah, so I think it's almost like a. I think
I
it's almost
remember-
like it's weird.
Mm.
It's very weird. It's a weird.
I remember the last round of Hyperdrive. I like managed to get glitched and
Oh
stuck
God,
somewhere.
no!
Yeah,
Stop!
it was tragic, and I had like testers in my chat going, "This guy's finding more bugs than the testers." Yeah,
Good
I still managed to get 8th that round, which is kind of funny. But
Yeah, I mean, I think we all had like that round where we thought.
it's probably
we were
because the
gonna-
last round was really hard. I think.
The last round was really that was the round that I died a lot, and still came I think like 8th or not 8th. No, not 8th. I don't remember what round. Either way, it was weird. It was like it was a very interesting concept of a game. Like
Man.
it's not like too crazy of a concept. Like you see other games like Terrasuit Force and honestly Elytra Race with somewhat similar concepts, but it's not like they're all different, you know?
Yeah.
Like even if they have like similar ideas, oh you have an Elytra and you're going down a tunnel, right? They're all very
Yeah.
different, and I find that really interesting. It was something that I hadn't really experienced before.
Yeah.
Now, speedrun. How did speedrun go for you?
It was quite alright. I think it's the game that I was like, because it was early on, I was a bit shaky during it. I went, in my head, I was like, I'm going to go for the first hard part, and then just not do it the other laps, because I'd be too scared. So I did, and then I'd have points where I was like, in 5th, or like points where I'd be in like 13th, and I think in the end I finished 8th. So
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with
I
the
mean,
8th.
8th is pretty solid.
I'm not Hyperdrive. Speedrun was your like really good
Yeah,
game.
that
right?
was my 3rd place, and I mean
Oh my god!
I got 3rd place, and my competition was Cammy B and Flores.
Only being
so-
beaten out by Cammy B and Flores.
Flores,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
not really a fair comp, but you know it's okay. I know Yeef was pretty
Yeah.
mad because we like almost like I think that might have been a genuine situation where I outpinged someone. Shalom.
Really?
Yeah, and we were like Yeef I think was like half an inch behind me on my screen.
Oh my god.
It was rough for Yeef. But I mean, I remember like playing and it was like the hard path I think really like differentiated people.
Yeah.
I did the hard path all 3 times. I missed the
Did
first
you?
the
Wow.
first time around I missed it like but I didn't miss it far enough in. Like I missed a pretty simple early jump in the hard
Yeah.
path. So I just redid it and it wasn't too particularly like if you know how to do basic 4-block like momentum, like carry your momentum, it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad. Like you did it once. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I think it was almost nerves that kept people from doing it. Because I guarantee
Yeah,
you most
for
people
sure.
in the event probably could have.
Yeah.
But I think it was nailing it all 3 times that like really
It's the
put
scary part.
yeah, but it also like almost put you ahead if you did. Because I know
Yeah.
me, Cammy B, and Flores all did hard path 3 times.
Oh wow. Jeez.
But yeah, I remember sitting in BC and I was like, my screen says I'm in 5th. There's something wrong here. And Kirby was like, yeah, it's because you're in 1st. Bro was
Oh
trying to
my
hype me
God.
up. Bro was
Oh
trying to
my
hype me
God.
up. I was like freaking out. And literally the second after Kirby boosted my ego, I freaking failed like the easiest parkour jump ever. It was like really embarrassing. But I caught my way back up because I don't know what it was, but people like really struggled with the Elytra tunnel at the end.
Huh.
Which I mean,
Really?
I don't.
Oh yeah. When I watched VODs, I remember seeing people struggling.
Yeah, and I mean, to be
yeah.
fair, even in our event, I mean, we had a bunch of VOD watchers, and even then, like I know a couple people had trouble with like navigating it. Which
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it didn't seem that hard, but I also haven't-
Honestly, if I didn't like VOD watch for that Elytra part, I would have probably fumbled it for at least like 2 of the laps. It does look difficult, especially if
yeah,
you're
it
like
does.
going in blind. So
I mean, just don't
if you're
go
going in
blind.
without anything, if you're going in blind, like
I mean,
whoa.
can I make this joke? Am I allowed to make this joke?
I'd say so.
Shalom, are you one to talk about going in blind?
Ah, yeah, true, exactly.
Do you wanna? Should I give context? Or do you want to give context here?
Yeah, you can if you want it.
Okay, so I found this out recently through not Shalom but Kenzie's. Shalom is
Wait,
like
actually.
yeah, we talked about it the other day, but I found it out through Kenzie's. Apparently, and you could correct me if I like am missing bits. You're like legally blind, or like as close to
Yes.
possible as legally blind.
Yes. Basically, I am like so severe on the I have terrible eyesight spectrum that it's like I am actually like legally blind. So
Does that affect you playing games?
Yeah, I do struggle with like seeing a lot. So
And this may be weird. I noticed when I'm watching your VODs, because yes, I do sometimes go back and watch your VODs. I am a long-term
cool.
sub of Shalom and G. I noticed that you like look into your screen like squinting downwards.
Very.
Is that
basically
that?
because of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's
Mm.
I mean that how does that work? Like does it
So-
make how much harder does it make things? Because I don't know much about that.
I basically like have an eye condition called aniridia, which basically means I don't have irises in my eyes, which are the parts that like control like the light intake into your eyes, and so I kind of like if, for example, I'm having a pretty big off day when it comes to, will my eyes want to work today or not? I'll have to focus very hard, or my brain will take like kind of a while to realize, okay, I'm looking at a grass block right now.
You're looking at a graph.
Yeah.
How are your eyes today? Can you answer that question?
They're pretty bad. Like, for example, if I open OBS, for example, unless I put my face into that monitor, I cannot see the start streaming button or the start recording button.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is.
It's like pretty big too.
I struggle. Yeah. Or I like struggle to read in-game Minecraft chat, and I already use a really big GUI scale. I think I use the biggest.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that your GUI is it is really big.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I still.
I mean, the fact that you're still good at Minecraft is, honestly, plausible. You are much better than I am, and I mean, you are. It's not a question. It's a fact. You are better than me at Minecraft, which is. I mean, that's a crazy flex that you can tell people, hey, I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pretty damn good at doing it.
Pretty alright at it. Yeah.
That's a flex. If I've ever seen one.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah. So, we talked about PBU almost. Wait.
Yeah.
Do I want to talk about any of the other back half games? Do we want to? Anything
I guess
you
my
want to mention?
my fire alarm went off in Sky High.
Oh, really?
Pretty funny.
Oh
Yeah.
God! It seems like everyone had issues in Sky High. Kirby froze.
In the third round of Sky High, I was like telling my teammates, guys, I smell smoke like outside of my room right now. This is not good. And then the fire alarm starts blaring off, and instead of me going to see what it is, I just keep playing. I end up winning the round. And then we get to Lowy and then it stops. But it's kind of funny that my house could have been on fire and I was winning PB.
Yeah, that is kind of concerning, but it's also like really. I mean, I've noticed that a lot of people had like some sort of issue during Sky High, and none of them were Sky High's fault. It was like really
so
weird.
sad.
There were so many issues in Sky High that weren't like Kirby had a full on like freeze. Like he sometimes just got really laggy during the event. He had a full on freeze where he froze and crashed during Sky High. And I had to lead our team.
Oh my goodness me.
The problem was me and E-Man were currently focusing Ben miscommunication. 'Cause we were fighting Blue at the time. Kirby had a full freeze. Sophie was like playing bodyguard.
Oh my god.
And me and E-Man thought rather than going back and dipping out of the fight, we would chase Ben miscommunication around and let him trap himself into a hole that we kept trying to break and he kept fixing, and his teammates came and killed us.
Oh man.
And then the third round. You want to talk about third round of Sky High?
Yeah, go on.
Your team, bullied my team.
Oh my goodness me! Actually, I think I remember.
Yes.
And that's the exact round that we won as well.
Yeah. So what happened, for those of you guys who don't know,
Oh.
Kirby just genuinely had like bad anxiety after crashing, and I mean Kirby. I don't know if you know this because you know Kirby probably better than I do. He had very high standards for himself.
Yeah.
And he was like really disappointed that he kept crashing, right? And he was so nervous that he failed his bridge. Kirby never fails bridges, ever. He failed his bridge, and then
it was tragic.
Oh, those cords for something?
Oh frick! I meant to message that myself, but yeah, that's my nether portal cords.
Oh, hold on, I'm coming. Shalom, do you have stuff? For me?
I have full diamond, I guess.
Okay, hold on. Do you have any spare iron, or do I need to continue
possibly. I think I have like 20 at my house.
Bro has a house.
Yeah, I'm in the nether, I've got a house,
He is a speedrunner.
Yeah.
When are you gonna be invited to House Builder Game? That's the real question.
I know, right? They're gonna let me in.
Nah. I mean, this is a question because it's on topic. Have you played in any speedrunning events or tournaments?
No,
actually.
I want to get into them. Yeah. I should like grind MCSR ranked more because I'm very into that mod a lot.
Yeah.
And if I do play it more, then I could try to qualify for some of the tournaments. There.
Yeah, you need to put out that video that you promised me though. Remember that? You promised me a speedrunning video.
Oh yeah!
Coaching people how to speedrun. And I've been waiting for it because I don't know how to speedrun.
Oh my god, I was planning that. I remember exactly as well.
I've got genius memory, Shalom. You'll learn this very quickly. I've got like a book for a brain.
All the Mayhem stuff bully me because they say I have dementia because I always forget things.
Yeah, that's freaking cool that you still do speedrunning. I mean, speedrunning takes a lot of brain power, and you know, as someone who considers themselves like a book, even I don't get speedrunning entirely. Like it's very
quite hard. There's a lot of tech to it. Like
there is a lot of tech to it. I tried learning how to navigate a Bastion. When I found that Bastion earlier, I found that Bastion due to luck. I did not use my, what was it, the C coordinate?
Oh.
Isn't that what you use? Or the entity counter?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I found that due to luck. I was walking around. And then I died to a brute. But we're not going to talk about that.
We can call it skill.
Skill, yeah. But that, I mean, that's freaking cool. Would you like to see more speedrunning, like based events? Like I know Twitch Rivals did stuff for a while.
Yeah. I feel like you don't see enough of them, so yeah, I would very much.
I feel like it would be really interesting if someone like Curry or Feinberg opened up like a speedrunning event to like non-top speedrunners. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say they do host like speedrunning esports through MCSR ranked.
Yeah, but it is like, very top speedrunning.
Qualify to get there.
I'd love to see someone like Captain Sparkles try to take on someone like, I don't know, freaking Dave Kratzy, for example.
That would be quite insane.
At speedrunning. I mean, Dave Kratzy mechanically is better, but I don't think either. I think Jordan might actually know a little bit more about speedrunning than Dave. So,
yeah, probably, to be fair.
I mean, Jordan's been around long. I know he knows how to beat the game because, I mean, I saw a stream. He has been in a, like, speedrunning event before, but...
Oh,
I mean,
he?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, speedrunning events are really cool, and I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be able to interview like freaking Curryway on this channel, but I mean, interviewing a speedrunner would be nice, right? Like interviewing someone
Yeah.
who does these speedrunning events. Those would
Yeah.
be that would be a really cool event to see.
Yeah. Interviewing, fine, but
Interviewing, I mean, if anyone can do it, it's gonna be the guy who doesn't stop talking to people. I'll figure it out. Oh, my pickaxe just broke. I'm gonna cry. Hold on. I have to break. I have to break stone with my fist.
Oh no. Mine's actually quite close to breaking as well. Oh no.
You're welcome. Oh no. I'm lost. Anyways, yeah. So can you talk to me a little bit more about Crown Quest? Because I haven't played Crown Quest. I know quite a bit about it, but
Sorry.
I haven't played Crown Quest, and I'd love to know a little bit more about what that experience is like, so I can talk to other people about it. You know,
The most intriguing thing I find about Crown Quest is that they try to incorporate a lot of unique features to the actual structure of events. They do have their own games as well, but they do try to make the structure of things different as well. So, for example, during the downtime, in between games, the whole concept behind Crown Quest is that you're completing quests and like gaining crowns or like coins, I think,
Interesting.
by doing like challenges around the lobby, and those like either give you points or like they help you with like like in voting and stuff like that.
yeah.
And something else that they do structurally different is, instead of at the end having the top two teams go into a final, they put everybody into a final. But what they do is that they have the points you gained across the event, you spend it at this like shop,
Oh.
where and once you spend those points, you get to like fight in a final arena. So like at the end of the day, it still is like up to anyone to win. But obviously doing good across the event is still good, because obviously
You
you'll
get more
have more
points.
points to spend. Yeah, and you'll have more points to spend.
That's a really interesting
Yeah,
concept.
I think that's Crown Quest is cool in that regard, especially when it comes to like that kind of originality. I think that's quite cool.
Okay, I've thought of something. Is there anything you don't like? Not about specifically Crown Quest, but in Minecraft events in general. Like, is there something you don't like about certain events? You don't have to name any events, but is there something
yeah.
you don't like?
I think something that I see with a lot of events is that they need to cut down on the amount of downtime that exists, because you'll find events where you've got, okay, you can play it, you can play a game that is maybe like 10 minutes, but then you'll have like 10 minutes before you go into the next game or something like that, or like 7 minutes before you go into the next game, or after you've just played that 10-minute game, the next game that you play is for some reason 20 minutes, or like way longer, or too short. I think there needs to be a level of consistency, and it needs to be good, that people need to realize. So you can't really have creators always or people just sitting around for a lot of time and just waiting for things to progress in an event. And you also don't want to wear people out with too much of a game. Like making people having people get sick of a game because they've been in it for so long is a bad feeling.
I mean, yeah. Is there like is that something you've noticed like at all with Mayhem? Has there ever been like a game that made it to the final board, that made it into the event, that you felt like that you accidentally kind of ended up doing, where you accidentally made the game just too long almost?
So I won't mention what I've done with it. But obviously, from the last time that it was seen, Combat Cube has been quite a
Yeah.
drawn-out game because people are very passive in it in events, understandably. And they like to play very passive, which leads to the first couple of minutes genuinely just being downtime, which is just of people or of there not being much action to look on. And compared to the other games, Mayhem games, I'd say are what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes each, really?
Yeah,
on
I
average.
I think so. I mean, it's been a while
Yeah.
since I played it, so.
Yeah, but I'd say Combat Cube is somewhere near like a 20 or 18-minute game, really, which is a bit. It's a bit icky,
Yeah.
and you'll obviously find out soon what's happened to it. But that hopefully is no longer an issue.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's one game you would like, I know Mayhem Twitter just asked this. What is, and you don't have to leak anything if it's like already official, like you're bringing this back. Is there any old Mayhem games that you want to see, like, hopefully return, maybe remastered in the future that you thought were really good, but just didn't work for some reason or another?
Yeah. I was very happy with Avalanche, actually. I would love to, and obviously now I don't really know how to do it yet. I'll figure it out at some point, but I've just got no clue of how I can really bring it back, because it has to be that kind of engaging. And yes, it was intense, but sometimes, let's say if it wasn't like the last two games and you were just playing it as like a filler first game or something like that, it wasn't very engaging. So yeah, we've got to figure out something in that park. But I'd love to, at some point, find a way to bring Avalanche back.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Mayhem's most controversial game? Do you want to?
Whoa.
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
Build Berserk, right?
Build Berserk, yeah.
Oh. Okay, so Build Berserk is the one building focused, I guess, game in Mayhem, and it's because it's a game that has been around for a while. It sits very close with me. It's my child. Build Berserk is my child, okay?
Yeah.
But for those of you that didn't see the Pride event, one of the donation goals, which was I think the highest donation goal, like 700, was to remove Build Berserk, and it was hit.
No!
It was hit! So, this might be the end for Build Berserk. Maybe in a non-canon you can see it again. But
No.
for now, I think he needs to be put to sleep.
No, that's so mean.
I know! It's tragic!
I mean, as someone who I played Build Berserk once during my first event, and it was very scuffed, but it was also the old Build Berserk. It was like the one with like the white room, and you had all the things lined up on the shelves to the left and the right. It was it was during the first Pride, and it was not bad. It was just off. Oh my god, I survived on one heart. I'm trying to get to your portal, but I don't know where you put it. Anyways, yeah. So it was very interesting because it clearly has potential to be a good game. I'm not gonna deny that. It just something about it felt unpolished almost.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
And obviously watching newer Build Berserk, obviously it's been polished more, but I think the issue with people is it feels unpolished when you're playing it.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously it's not unpolished. You guys do a great job with it, but it feels unpolished.
Yeah, I understand that feeling, to be fair. Yeah. Which is why we did, in the end, decide to step back from it. So. Oh my
what
God,
is your favorite, like, to play Mayhem game? Because, I mean, you obviously do tests now as well.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah. As someone who is quite the movement enjoyer, obviously I am a very big enjoyer of rapid races.
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Yes,
also really, I really can't say why, but I love Guardians. I love Guardians so much.
You love
I
Guardians?
cannot say why, but I love Guardians, right?
Fair enough. I mean, when I played Guardians in 18.
Ooh,
My
yeah.
team did really well.
Yeah, I remember, sir.
Yeah,
Aliens was
we were a really weird team, to be fair. Because like
Very enjoyable.
everyone
I
had us like last. I don't know if you remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Everyone had it was me, Bailey, who at the time went by Jose, Aeolia, and then Loonwin. And
Yeah.
it was a very weird team because no one knew who Loonwin was at all. Bailey had this like really weird streak where they weren't super good at Minecraft, but they did like really pretty well in Mayhem. So everyone was
Yeah.
like very confused what to do with them. And then there was like Aeolia, who I believe that was their first Mayhem. And then me, who had played in Pride once. So your experienced veterans on that team were me and Hey Bailey.
Yep.
So it was a really weird team, and we actually did pretty well. And I think it was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
interesting to play Guardians as like a non-experienced, like particularly strong team and do well, because I think that's a good thing about Guardians that I like, is that like anyone can really do well if you have the right. I mean, you've heard this a billion times. It's like Valorant, where if you have the right strategies, you can do well. You don't need to be the top players to
Yeah.
Yeah, be the best. You need to use your brain. Which, I mean, is hard enough to say about it's a hard thing to ask from Minecraft players, but still.
Subtle roasting the whole community. Let's freaking go.
Nah, bro, I love the community, but some of us are real stupid. But yeah, I mean, it is really the good. I really like Mayhem. I'll speak Mayhem's praises till like the day I die. I really like Mayhem. I've only played 2 Mayhems, and I think personally it's my favorite event to watch.
That's great.
Which is really interesting because I watch every event. I'm one of those people that you will realize has watched every event known to mankind. And I think Mayhem is really good at, keeping it entertaining for the viewers and the players alike. Very
thanks.
nice. I think this might be about time to wrap up the interview, or the podcast almost. I haven't really decided which one it is. We're kind of wobbling between both. But I've got one final question for you, Shalom. One final question.
Okay.
Will Chaotic Max ever be unbenched?
Oh, maybe. Possibly. But now do we have to wait till the 1 year anniversary?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? You see, I told people that there was a 1 year anniversary coming up, and now everyone's using that against me, and I'm like, oh.
It's certain to choose. It's not certain that will decide anything. But if you were to choose, would you play in like the October event or the December event?
The October-December event.
Like if you could really put it in your hands.
Halloween or Christmas, I'm assuming that's what you're meaning. Kinda. I think I would play probably in the winter one, even if it is farther away, because one, my birthday's in December.
Oh, is it?
Yes, my birthday is in December, and also because this may be just me being a content creator here. A lot of people are out of school going into the winter break. People don't have as much going on in their classes because people are winding down for that break, and then they're gonna start up right when they come back. But no one's assigning a massive project due right before the winter holidays. No one's that evil. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if you've ever had a teacher that's that evil, but I can't speak for you. But it's like no one's that evil, so people are gonna be actively there. And I think if I had to choose, if you gave me the full choice, I would pick the winter event just because of that. I think.
Oh wow.
Which I mean, I know a lot of people love the Halloween and October events because they're like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're spooky, and I know a lot of people their main holiday is Halloween, unironically. Five
Yeah.
Up in MCC only chooses to play in MCC Halloween because he, prefers Halloween. So
Yeah.
it's
Huh.
I personally am a very winter person. I mean, I was born in the winter. I grew up in I was born in a country where it's always winter. And yeah, I mean, I'm obviously I haven't mentioned this yet on the podcast, and I didn't know I would actually have to say this. I am adopted, which is really
Okay.
it's an interesting situation. But I was
Yeah.
born in a country that's really cold. I love
Mm.
being in the cold. I'm a winter over summertime person.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a force of habit for me to say winter. So I think to answer your question, I would say winter for sure. And yeah, I mean, Mayhem is deserving of like everything it is getting now. That I mean, long ago probably you wouldn't have gotten, which is really great. Oh my god! And I just got back in the Nether, and I think we're about to wrap up the podcast. Whoopsies. Well, we didn't beat the game, but I mean, it was great talking to you, Shalom. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm a little sick. I don't know if that came off clear.
Nah.
Still a little sick, and
Nah,
this
you-
is my
you did
first
it well.
podcast. But I really appreciate you sticking with me, and being here. I know you had to wake up earlier than your normal time.
It's 2
What?
p.m. still. It's okay.
Nah, bro. It's like 11, almost 11 my time. But I really appreciate you being here with me, being the first podcast person to be interviewed. You get that title of being the first person I've ever interviewed.
Awesome sauce.
Actually, I do have one more question for you.
Oh,
this-
go on, hit me with it.
This is like a realistic last question. If you were to watch anyone else be on this podcast, who would it be?
Oh.
Who's the next person you want to
um,
see on this podcast?
I would watch a Lackey podcast.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll see if the Lackey podcast ever happens. Thank you, Shalom, so
Hooray.
much. And yeah, that's the end of today's podcast.